The reason that we have the fish is so we can keep the pond clean from, mosquito larvae, but also it's making fertilizer, right? So the effluent, so the fish are eating and excreting down there, and then we can pump that water out and water the trees with it, which is extremely good for the trees because, there's all kinds of life in the pond, eating each other and, creating fertility and breaking down, whatever lands in the pond. It's a 30,000 gallon pond, so it's also your backup water supply. We're here in the desert making an oasis, but we're dependent on the water that comes from the county. We want to be as resilient and self-sustaining as possible. That's in alignment with our values. So we have extra water so that we can use that in case there's an interruption in our regular water supply. We can still keep our important plants alive. 30,000 gallon pond is not a huge amount of water. I mean, we use that water in just a short period of time. And as long as this little girl right here doesn't eat all the fish, I think that's probably why they get a little scared, because we do have some farm cats around that, help reduce the bird population and rodent population. So it's a symbiotic relationship, but I'm sure that they also hunt the fish. So they could be out by the edge of the pond waiting for it to come up, and then in here we have white Nile tilapia. They're very hardy and they can survive in a range, a larger pH range. It means less maintenance on our part to make sure it's perfect. If you have certain fancy fish, they could die if the pH changes, 1 degree, up or down. So the tilapia are a little bit more resilient. And then we can give them some food scraps because we always have extra when we harvest. Keeps them fed in their breeding. And occasionally we get some big birds of prey. Kingfishers will come down and hunt over here. The pond is also great because it attracts dragonflies. The dragonflies also eat mosquito larvae, and they're just magical creatures. And so once we put in the pond, all of a sudden we started attracting dragonflies, which is amazing. A piece of the sustainability is that we're building fertility down here. It's like a bank. So we might not have a lot of money in our bank account, but we have a lot of money in our, fertility bank here on the farm with the livestock that we have in the form of the tilapia, our dairy goats, and our laying hens. All three of those, definitely take energy and effort to maintain, but they also, all have their unique things that they give back to us. You can see there's a little bit of cabbage and mustard in here. And you see them kind of coming to the surface, and wherever you see a ripple, that's when, the lips come up and they're biting something. The big ones are much more shy, so the smaller ones usually kind of come up first. And then when the big ones think it's safe, then you'll see some larger fish in there, maybe 2 to 3 pounds. The more life that you can support, the more biodiversity you attract, the more resilient your farm can be. Example is like over here by this avocado tree, I see lots of painted lady butterflies flying around. And if it was drought and we weren't watering, we wouldn't have those here either. So it's, the good with the bad, because sometimes birds can also be a pest, but they're also eating some other pest insects, and they are leaving manure as well. So it's just about the balance. Less inputs from us as the farmers is better for the farm. So even though you might lose some, crop to bird damage, but the fact that they're here means that we're doing something right, because there's, abundance. And this is just another piece of that puzzle. All the other life that is attracted to that pond, which is everything, because without water, there is no life. So by putting water there, we are creating the fundamental requirements for life. It's like, this is the desert, So obviously we had to dig a big hole and put a pond liner and, you know, go through all the effort to create that. But it's also beautiful and a part of the whole ecosystem that we're creating over here.